Calaroga Shark Media.
A quick reminder, this program takes no days off. I will have an episode for you tomorrow and every day, 7 days a week. Daily Comedy News. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac. With the aforementioned Daily Comedy News, Nate Bargatze has his new special out on Netflix today. Nate discusses wanting a second dog, how much pizza to order for guys' night, and how his wife is the responsible one. There is a trailer. Let's listen.
My wife, she runs everything, but I do my own laundry. One day, I was driving home, and it popped in my head, and I was like, all right, I'll bring that up. I didn't bring it up that day. I was like, I'm sure there will be a time where we'll be in some fight, I'll be losing this fight, and then I just come, I'm like, I do my own laundry. I went to career day for my daughter's school. So I was hoping to sit at a table alone. They put me at a table with a surgeon, which I think they did it on purpose. Almost to show the kids, here's the difference between reading. They asked him, how long do you go to school to be a surgeon? You know, and he's 54 years or whatever. And they asked me, they're like, how long to be a comedian? I was like, you're good now, so. Look, finish elementary school, make your parents happy, but then I'd get out and get after
it. Nate recently wrote a piece for the Wall Street Journal, wrote it himself, under the title, Nate Bargatze Isn't Here to Hurt Your Feelings. Nate writes, in class, I was funny, but I wasn't loud or crazy. My side comments were always hushed so teachers wouldn't hear them. I didn't want to be disruptive or hurt their feelings. All of this was my way of fitting in and standing out. By my senior year, I managed to win the award for most school spirit. I didn't win class clown. I came in second. I wonder who won. Growing up, I watched my dad do his magic tricks. He practiced them on me, so I knew how they were done. I thought he was cool. My father was sensitive, like Robin Williams in Patch Adams. My mom is very funny, more like me in terms of setting up jokes. Dad is more slapstick in his delivery. But what I always admired is how he made fun of himself. He taught me there's nothing funnier than making yourself part of the punchline. I started performing when I was around 11 in skits that my dad and his friend wrote. At church, they created these simple rural characters, Ned and Jed. I'd join, dress nerdy with suspenders, and say something dumb. What I loved most was the audience's laughter. In high school, I didn't do well, but I loved being there. I was homecoming king. For our yearbook, we listed where we thought in 10 years, and I joked playing in the NBA. But that actually happened. I played for my church in the Nashville Baptist Association, so technically, it was the NBA. He then writes about his career. I'll skip to the comedy part. One day I told a guy at work, another guy we worked with wanted to do some improv at some place called Second City in Chicago. I talked to the other guy and we went. I spent 8 weeks there and I learned that improv wasn't a good fit. Instead, I took a stand-up class at Jim Routs Comedy College in Chicago. For graduation in 2003, the teacher took us to a bar where we all had our first stand-up experience. We did well since the audience knew we were just starting out. My turning point was 2008 when I was booked on Comedy Central Live at Gotham, on Conan, and at the Montreal Comedy Festival. My first Netflix special was in 2017. Today I live with my wife Laura and our daughter Harper in Nashville. We moved into our home in 2015. I loved that it was in a cul-de-sac with no through traffic. We have a big backyard and lots of space. Inside we have an open living room, dining area, and kitchen where we all hang out. You can see everyone at once, so you don't have to go searching for any family members. Boston Magazine spoke to Dane Cook and asked Dane, hey, do you miss doing film? It's been a while since you were in a movie. Dane said, I'm gearing up to do one now. It's the first movie I've done in probably 10, 12 years. I love comedy. I'm always going to do that, but I love the collaborative process of film. But for the most part, the stuff I was being sent was either really derivative of what I'd already done or just really watered down. I was like, okay, I could make $1 million and do the movie, but then my fans are going to be like, dude, what the F is this? Dane was asked if voiceover work is the easiest payday ever. Dane said, it's the most convenient payday. I wouldn't say it's easy. I was working on planes, and it was especially tricky because I was replacing an actor who'd been fired. John Lasseter thought my voice had the boyish whimsy he wanted. The amount of work that went into doing it right and giving those animators what they needed was a lot more work than I thought. So yeah, you're rolling in your pajamas, and there's no hair and makeup, but after that first take, you very quickly start to realize this isn't just about putting on a cute voice. You got to land it, and it's a really, really intricate work. Dane Cook, what's your biggest personal extravagance? Dane said, I turned into a bit of a sneakerhead over the past couple of years. Podcasting became so in vogue that I realized you can't go on a podcast with the same sneakers every time, so I started buying a new pair every time, and I think I probably have about 200 pairs now in my closet. Leanne Morgan told Movie Guide what it's like to tour with her. She said, I'm always dragging a big suitcase through an airport and then getting in a rental car and going to a theater, going to a hotel, putting on a girdle, go to theater, do all that. Just hard on your body and hard on your mind. Then you got to get there, and you want it to be the best for your audience, Then you got to get up so you can be the best and give it everything you got, and then you try to go to bed and sitting in a hotel room, staring into space. I don't want to sound like I'm not grateful because I'm so grateful, but I think two things can be true at the same time. Time out. I've been using that phrase a lot this past year. Many things can be true at once. People just too often discuss things in absolutes. Yes. Leanne says, you can have this wonderful thing happen, which is everything I've ever dreamed of and bigger than I ever dreamed of to be, but it's so hard. A partner in Shirla sounds like me when she travels. She says she's really sensitive to noise, and sometimes at airports and airplanes, there's so much unpredictable noise that sometimes she won't have anything playing in her noise-canceling headphones. I'll just put them on to create another layer between me and the world. I do that all the time. She says, I used to have a pair of Bose headphones, and those were on their last legs. I got a new brand, going down one of those internet wormholes where I was just looking for some more eco-friendly headphones, and I ended up on some back alley website. The ones I have now don't even have a logo on them. The Cut asked Caleb Huron, hey, what's your favorite holiday movie? Caleb said, a Christmas movie that a lot of people don't think as of being a Christmas movie. He said, Stepmom. Julia Roberts, Susan Sarandon, you know it? You'll sob for 3 days straight. It's one of the saddest movies ever made. It's so effed up. Julia is peak 90s Julia. She's wearing leather jackets like it's her job. And in many ways it is. She's wearing a little beret, sunglasses. She's looking chic as hell. And she's the stepmom. And Susan Sarandon is the real mom. There's a Christmas element to it. It makes me sob. It's one of my mom's favorite movies. The Cut asked him, all right, you're hopping in an Uber. You can bring 5 celebrities, dead or alive. Who's coming? That's a fascinating question. I might have to ponder that question myself, but not right now. He says, I'm going to go with Natalie Maines, the lead singer of The Chicks. That's my girl. I love that band. John Goodman. I love him and everything. And he went to my college, Missouri State. Shout out, go Bears. Back in the day on Roseanne, OG Fat John Goodman was so hot and so funny. Who else am I going to put in there? Frank Ocean. I need to understand what's going on with him. I love his music. He's sort of in a space where he's refusing to put any out. I want to be his friend, or more, if he's open to it. Frank, hit me up. All right, I've kind of, as I was reading that, thought about my list. I should go with the guys from the Mac Pack. Now, if you're a new listener, what's the Mac Pack? These are my celebrity friends. When I become a big-time celebrity, this is who I'm going to roll with. It's a bunch of people. So the original Mac Packer is Michael Chiklis. John, do you have a man crush on Michael Chiklis? I might. It's okay. Met him a couple times in real life. He's cool. I like the guy. He's in the Mac Pack, so he's in my Uber. I think Andy Samberg, also in the Mac Pack, seems like a good time, so we'll bring him. That's 2. Now, it's dead or alive. Do I invite, like, Jim Morrison just to make the trip interesting? Carlin, so we can talk comedy? And I can be like, hey, George, what do you think of YouTubers? And that's 4. Can I time travel? Can I bring peak NYPD Blue Kim Delaney? Just, so we can talk about the show? Maybe she's wearing a turtleneck? I don't know how this works. It's Christmas Eve. Why don't you shut up? Okay. All right. Merry Christmas. I'll be back in the morning on tape. Well, you're always on tape, John. It's a podcast. Yes, but definitely on tape tomorrow. See you then.